And good Saturday morning. Glad to have you with us. Welcome to Sports Talk. David Keever, Mike Powell, Brett Keever here with the next couple hours as we take a stroll through the world of sports. The last week, this past week, maybe I shouldn't say the last week. We're obviously hoping it's not the last week of sports in the world, but a lot of things going on, a lot of things heated up. NBA draft, Major League Baseball, College World Series is about to peak. It's an SEC world. I sent that out to a couple people because here we go once again. It's an all SEC final in another sport, and felt bad for Wake Forest, but but you know, it felt good for LSU. And help me with the name, the LSU kid, Tommy. The two-run homer that walk off. Why can I not think of his name right now? Because, Mike, do you know where he was last year at this time? And earlier? Tommy. Come on, Brett. Help me.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Tommy. Why can't I think of it? Lenny sent it to me. Tommy White. Tommy White with the two-run walk-off homer. Over 100 RBIs this year.
Mm-hmm.
In college baseball, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot for the amount of games.
You're talking about what, 75 games at the most?
Last year, Mike, if I'm not mistaken, he was Rookie of the Year in the ACC. Am I right there, Lenny? Rookie of the Year last year in the ACC. So now, where did he play last year in his freshman year before he got good enough to go on and play for National Power LSU? No? Brett knows because I told him earlier in the week. He was with the Wolfpack, with the NC State Wolfpack. And I don't know, Brett, if you're looking him up at all or got anything on him. Where's he from? Where did he go to high school?
Well, it says I guess he finished at IMG Academy in Florida. I don't know if that's where he started or if that's where he's from. Yeah, it says he grew up in St. Pete, Florida.
St. Pete, Florida. So somehow he got away from the Gators and the Seminoles and the Hurricanes. Wound up at NC State. And I'm just going to look here and see what it was that Lenny said about him. Because this was way before he hit the home run the other night when Lenny was sending me stuff about this kid. And let's see. I don't know if you're watching Wake Forest LSU. This was a couple nights ago in the before the final game, I think, was forced. But that Tommy White, this is from Lenny a couple nights ago. On Monday. This is actually on Monday. Tommy White, that has 97 RBIs, which now is over 100, was at NC State last year, and I think he was the ACC Conference Rookie of the Year. So not only did he change schools, he changed conferences, and now he may be looking at getting a ring.
Yeah. Must have been that NIL.
Well, more than the NIL to me, it's just the transfer portal. I don't know what NC State's record was last year. I don't know if they.
Yeah, but they've been a respected.
Yeah, they have. They have, but not like an LSU.
No,
that
you're right.
Goes to this World Series. It seems like quite often.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 4-6 years ago they lost to Florida in the finals? And
It said on his Wikipedia page that they had a good season but failed to make the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But he hit 362 with 27 home runs and 74 RBIs last year.
Very productive last year.
Lenny said he originally wanted to go to Florida State. So I guess they, for whatever reason.
They didn't offer.
No. And I don't know what his stats are this year, but they seem,
100 RBIs.
That's enough for me.
Well, he's hitting 370.
Well, that's enough for me.
23 home runs.
Golly.
23 doubles. 95 total hits.
And probably will lose out National Player of the Year to his teammate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it Skeens? Did we ever figure that out, if that's exactly the way you say that? Skeens,
I think so, yeah.
The big pitcher. And now I don't know why I drew a blank right now. Is he righty or lefty? He's right-handed, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
But they also have.
They got. We said this last week. I heard that they have more Major League prospects on the LSU roster than 5 farm systems in Major League Baseball.
No.
They have Dylan Cruz, the outfielder, who's projected to be a top,
Don't you be stealing that Cruz last name. That's coming up later.
Top 2 or 3 pick.
That's right. That was one of the great games.
He's hitting .423 this year.
It was one of the great games, and I didn't see it all. I got there late in the game.
Yeah, I was off and on.
But I got there late in the game. I wish I would have seen it all because they played 11 innings in 2.5 hours. I mean, it was pretty quick baseball game for as long as many innings that it lasted. But when there's no runs scoring, not a whole lot of people on base.
That's right.
It doesn't take very long to get those.
Great season by the Deeks.
Oh, it was, and they're set up. I think them and LSU both have enough players coming back that they could make another run. Not sure about Florida. I hadn't checked their roster quite as closely yet, but I think these two, it felt like that was a national championship series. But now LSU has to go and prove they can beat. Brett, see if you can find how they fared this year head-to-head.
Yeah, against the
Florida
Gators.
Yeah, Florida and LSU, because, I don't know. You just play – in the conference, you just play 1 3-game series. Am I right, or do you play a home and home? Because I'm not –
I don't –
yeah. Well, and they probably don't even play everybody because the conference is so big. Maybe you play everybody at least once, but that's kind of – in baseball, that kind of thing just don't happen because you don't want to do all that traveling just for one game. I mean, if you're going to fly into somewhere in baseball, you want a 3-game set.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
But they only play on weekends, right? They only play series on weekends, and then the middle of the week is left for their non-conference games.
I can attest to that just from Gaston College. That's the way they do it.
Yeah.
3-game weekend.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. Let's see. Dylan Cruz either has or – this is from Lenny. Dylan Cruz either has or is expected to win the Golden Spikes Award, which is equivalent to the Heisman. So,
here's something from Rich Hauser. Did you hear them talk about Cruz's eyesight? It said both his eyes are dominant, so he sees the pitch about 0.25 seconds earlier than most players.
0.25 seconds is I don't even take a fastball that long to get there. So,
yeah, that's helpful.
There's no doubt about it. Lenny said he thinks in the head-to-head this year. Have you got it, Brett? That they went 0-2. LSU went 0-2 against Florida.
Well, I'm trying to find where they even played them.
Usually, if that happens. The other team wins. When you get, it's
the way it is.
We see it over and over and over. Not so much in high school football. I always want to preach in high school football. That team that beat you the first time, you meet them again in the playoffs.
They're going to beat you again.
90% of the time.
Yeah.
90% of the time, I think it happens where the same team wins again. It's just because they're better than you.
That's right.
This is a little different. Baseball is a long season. You get hot. If you're where they are now, both of these teams, they're probably playing better than they were during the regular season.
I can't even find that they played
in order to get.
Yeah,
they may not have played. Just because of how many teams in that SEC now? 14, 16, 15? I don't know. ACC's 15, right?
How many will they be when they add Oklahoma and Texas?
I don't know. 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more.
Plus 2. Unless somebody's leaving or they're forcing somebody out.
They've already come out with the 24-24 SEC matchups with Oklahoma and Texas.
If you're Vanderbilt, do you want to stay?
Oh, man. You want the money, of course.
Yeah, it is. It's good money, but
I know.
I can't imagine.
I don't see that they played each other.
Okay. Like I said, that's very, very possible that they wouldn't even played, which makes it more intriguing that they didn't play now, and now all of a sudden you're playing for everything in a 2 out of 3, which starts today, by the way. Let's see, College World Series. It's not even on the top. of my screen here on ESPN's highlights, I don't see anywhere. I don't even see it mentioned yet.
I don't either. Yeah, the 8
because
or 10.
there wasn't a game last night, I guess,
Yeah.
is why it's I still think it is, to me, maybe not to you guys. Even if Wake Forest had been there, I'd have been the same way. But it's one of the most anticipated College World Series 2 out of 3 finals for me. Yeah. I don't know why, but it just seems like it's a little bigger. There's so many major league prospects.
I love the 2 out of 3 format.
Yeah, I do too. Doesn't matter what you did in that.
Yeah.
Florida lost a game, right?
Yeah.
Just like LSU.
Just
did.
like LSU.
Yeah,
did.
they both had a loss. Who was it that knocked off Florida in the? Do you remember, Brett?
I don't think they lost.
Oh, you don't? They may not have.
No, they didn't.
Okay. So
They hadn't lost since June 3rd.
yeah, wow.
Mm.
Wow. But it's still good, I think, that they erase all of that, and
Yeah.
now it's a 2 out of 3.
When did they go to the best of 3? It used to be just that one. They would play one game, right?
Well, I think they played one game for a while. I think they
Winner
played.
take all.
I think they just played at one time a double elimination tournament.
That's right.
And if you get to the end, the team in the losers bracket had to win twice.
Right.
It could go
Florida.
the extra day.
Florida has won all 3 games by 1 run in the World Series.
All 3 by 1 run. Low scoring too, right?
6-5, 5-4, and 3-2.
So it kept getting lower.
Well, you look at all the games, and it seems like it's not been a slugfest like it has been in previous years.
Well, pitching wins.
Pitch and win.
Defense wins championships. Pitching wins
Well, how about
championships.
Wake? I mean, they had, was it 3-2? They won a couple games 3-2. I mean, all these games have been.
Yeah. Nobody's been dominant,
No.
But I'd like to see where Florida and Tennessee are in team home runs. Not Tennessee, Florida and LSU in team home runs, because LSU just seems like they have major pop in the lineup. And when you get into these kind of games, just like Wake Forest found out the other night, when you get into these kind of games, that's the one blow that ends it all instantly. Is that walk-off home run or a big home run at some point in the game. You accidentally get 2 people on.
They are 2nd and 3rd in the nation.
Wow. Now, who's number 1, Mike? You want to guess who number 1 in the nation in home runs is?
I'll give you
40 guesses.
50, maybe 100, maybe more.
Dallas Baptist.
Nope. It's I don't know if this team might have made the
Playoffs.
playoffs. I don't even know for sure.
What state are they from?
Florida.
Well, imagine that. Central Florida. South Florida. Jacksonville.
Florida State.
Wow. And he's giving us this many guesses. Does that mean it's a school we've not even heard of?
No, you've heard of it.
Florida Gulf Coast.
That's it.
Florida Gulf Coast. I thought
Get you
about
some
them
of
in
that.
basketball.
Only
several
took me
years
5
ago.
guesses. Florida Gulf Coast, who was
So they did it in 60 games,
Yeah.
142 home runs.
Oh wow.
LSU and Florida have
That's
both
2.5
played.
a game.
They've both played 68 games, and LSU hit 138 and Florida's hit 136.
But you wonder about the level of competition, especially in conference play.
Yeah.
As the SEC versus I don't even know what Florida Gulf Coast is in. So
The Atlantic Sun.
Yeah.
that sounds like a newspaper.
It does. Atlantic Sun.
Yeah.
I remember when they had that run in basketball. It's
Yeah.
been
I do.
several years
Yeah,
ago.
I do. Yep.
Got to the 3rd round, I think.
Mike, you remember the coach's wife. That's what you remember. Didn't he? Wasn't the coach known for
I don't know, but that
really
coach
hot
ended
wife?
up at Southern Cal, I think.
Did he? It
Yeah.
always happens. The guy leads a small program to new heights and gets. But you got to. There we go
Yeah,
again.
the way
It's
it's
all
a
about
pecking order.
all about the money, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
All about the money. I mean,
Andy Enfield.
Andy Enfield. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been at Southern Cal
I cannot believe
For-
he wasn't a baseball coach.
for 10 years now. Yeah. Enfield with an E.
It don't matter. Whenever you say it, it doesn't look that way. But yeah, at one time, surely he played baseball, second or short, right? Third base, somewhere in the infield. Lenny says many thought Tommy White was leaving state to go back to Florida State. But I guess the NIL money was the game changer. First NIL money I know of, well spent. If that's what got him there.
That's right.
It was well spent because look where they are right now. Let's see. Lenny says, now this you got to help me out, Lenny. Andy Enfield's wife went. I don't know.
It says she's former model.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh my, Mike, you're letting me down. This is way off base for Mike.
It's been about 8 years ago. Right?
Yeah, more. 12.
12 years.
Oh my gosh, has that been that long?
11 or 12 years.
Yeah.
Well, he's been at USC since 2013.
Well, there you go.
Well, guess who's coming to play for him?
Oh, Bronny James.
Bronny committed to LSU this past week.
USC.
I mean, USC. Get my initials mixed up.
A big get for the Trojans.
It would have been shocking if Bronny committed to LSU. Sorry about that. But for basketball.
Yeah, that was Shaq's son.
Yeah, it was. Did he?
Yeah.
Did he go? Did he play there? What was the game? Mike, you remember the coach, Dale
Brown.
Is that it? Dale Brown, for flamboyant kind of guy, outspoken.
Yeah.
That's who Shaq played for
back
in the day. Is he still alive, Dale Brown?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Hadn't heard that name in quite some
No,
time.
I haven't either. Got
LSU
one Final Four.
LSU looks good as far as an athletic program, with the exception of basketball, and they're occasionally good in basketball. And I say good, not
made
great.
The Final Four once under Brown, I believe.
I remember them eliminating Duke one year.
Oh yeah.
I
Tyrone.
can recall.
Name?
I watched it from
Tyrus Thomas, something like that.
Yeah, and
is that who it was?
Big Baby Davis.
Yeah, Big Baby.
That was J.J. Redick.
Yeah, Redick's senior year.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I remember watching from a hotel bar in Atlanta.
Yeah, you drowned your sorrows.
Was down there for some kind of company thing.
That was the Sweet 16.
It's like on a Thursday night, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it did. It did. But, you get used to that if you're a NCAA basketball fan of any team because
they're going down.
It's going to come to an end except for one.
That's right.
It says Dale Brown with LSU made two Final Fours.
I stand
81
corrected.
and 86.
I stand good. Nice run.
But you may recall, may not, how Leitner dominated Shaq in a one-on-one, not one-on-one, but a head-to-head matchup in the regular season. I don't think it was tournament or anything. I think it was
I don't think they met in the tournament.
I think it was just a regular season game, and Shaq admits it. He's talked about it before, but still one of my favorite people though. Shaq, he's incredible and does a lot of good.
Yeah.
I
like him almost as much as Barkley, but I get Barkley as my favorite.
It says.
So who's the best player ever to come out of LSU on the court?
Well, Shaq, easily.
Well,
not a college.
Are you forgetting about?
I'm not forgetting. That's why I'm asking.
Forgetting about Maravich?
I'm not forgetting.
Well,
Maravich.
Do you ever see any expert top 10 or top 20 list? Have you ever seen Maravich ahead of Shaq?
No, and he won't be in the NBA. He would be on the top 10 in college. Basketball.
Absolutely.
But just like Leitner. I mean, Leitner's a top 10, maybe a top 5 college player of all time.
Absolutely.
He's not going to be on.
But is he the best player to ever come out of Duke?
No, not when you go to the next level. He's not.
No.
He probably is
at Duke.
Right. While at Duke.
At Duke, yes, he is.
So who would it be? I mean, Carolina's got Jordan claiming.
I still say Grant Hill is
most athletic for sure, and the brains to go with it.
Well, until his injury, he was phenomenal.
Jason Tatum's on pace to be.
Yeah.
If he keeps up.
Yeah, he's got to win the big. He's got to win the biggie.
He will pass Grant. Well, they
got
themselves some
he doesn't
help
have to because Grant
never won.
He never led a team to a title.
No.
It would help though. It would help anybody's resume.
Kyrie's won a title.
Help anybody's resume.
I think Kyrie's number 2 on the list of Duke players' NBA careers.
As far as longevity,
8 or 11 games did he play, Kyrie, at Duke? It's very low.
11,
I think.
I think it was 11.
As far as longevity, Grant Hill. Is that what you're going to say?
Well, how about Redick? I mean,
Redick had a great NBA.
Grant Hill
had a great NBA career.
Grant Hill played a long time, but his last 10 years, he was just a role player
Yeah.
And he missed. He might have missed a season and a half due to a major injury.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he was never really the same player after that.
For all this Duke talk for our Carolina fans, I would be interested in who they say is the second best ever to come out.
Based on their pro career or their
because Michael Jordan's not the best college player ever at Carolina. He's down the list.
Oh yeah.
As far as college players, he's the best player when you combine it all.
Yeah,
but he would
Hansborough
not
had a better career at Carolina.
Who did?
Hansborough. And
Hansborough
Jordan
did.
Well,
Hansborough
I'd
did.
have to put James Worthy.
Worthy would
based
be
on
up
what
there.
he
Yeah.
did
That might
collegiately.
would be their second best.
Yeah.
You know,
I would think
would be
so.
Worthy.
I'd say Worthy or Vince Carter.
Yeah. Vince Carter.
Best NBA career.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those two are on the draft board. Which one you taking?
I think Worthy.
I would too. I
think he had more of an impact on winning than Vince Carter did.
Yep.
Carter was on some bad teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Which Worthy was on. Worthy was on some great teams.
He was, and that
helps.
That does. That helps. You know.
I think Rasheed Wallace had a great NBA career.
Yeah. But not like those other two, I don't think, that you just mentioned. I mean, it was up there. Bobby Jones had a long career. Lengthy career. Just trying to go back and think of some of the ones. McAdoo was pretty good in the NBA, if I remember correctly. And some of the older guys that we tend to forget, like Billy Cunningham and, you know.
Well,
Larry Brown may be.
James Worthy is an NBA Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah. And we don't know about some of the others yet, though, right?
Cunningham, how long? He had a lengthy
No, Vince
career.
Carter will be.
Yeah, I think so, too. Cunningham, a long time. Probably based on total career. Big game James Worthy is what Lenny
I'll buy that.
says. And I would, too. I mean, that's – and he's probably can't be far behind Michael in titles.
Yeah.
Can he?
Who?
Worthy?
How many did you get with the Lakers?
I'm going to guess at least four.
3 or 4.
3 or 4.
3.
Just 3? Well, I'm not just 3, but compared to Michael's 6.
85, 87, and 88.
Yeah.
He was Finals MVP in 88.
And, you know, the thing about him, though, is that he was never the top player on his NBA team, was he? I mean, it was Magic's team or it was Kareem's team.
Jabbar's team.
But even though he was just as good, I think he just that's.
Yeah.
But he won titles. You know, he did get 3 titles.
Finals MVP in 88, 7 All-Stars.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He's been on these NBA anniversary teams, the 50th and 75th anniversary, which the 50th anniversary team was, at that time, he was one of the 50th best players of all time.
Does the
and now the 75th is he's 75th, one of the top 75 players of all time.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so is there you got that list? You don't have that list, D, because I just wonder if there's another Carolina player in that.
Other than him and Jordan?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah. Top 75 of all time.
Sam Perkins had a decent, but not a great
he was
NBA run.
I mean, you just said it decent.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what his.
Think about it. He was on that same baseline. They had the best front court in basketball in '82, right, when they won it. Perkins and Worthy.
And
Jordan, of course.
Yeah, Jordan, Jimmy Black, Matt Doherty.
Billy Cunningham?
Yeah, Billy Cunningham. We talked about him a little earlier. He is on there?
He's on the 75th anniversary team.
Lenny says, high up on the scoring list of NBA players, but not on a lot of winning playoff teams, was Antoine Jameson.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. You know, a couple things help. It helps to be in big markets. It helps to be on teams like the Lakers or like the Celtics, you know, somebody that's got the history behind them and things like that, because it helps to be on TV a lot, because that's how you get recognized. Seems like more and more is you know, who's getting those primetime games.
Right. Billy Cunningham was the MVP of the ABA in '73. He won 1 NBA title,
With?
the Sixers,
Okay.
in '67. 4 NBA All-Stars.
Was also a coach, right? Didn't he coach some?
Yeah, he
think
coached
so.
the Sixers.
Okay.
Sixers.
He wasn't the coach when they won again. What, didn't they win in the 80s?
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
83.
Okay. Well, that helps the resume. Not as a player, but,
He averaged 21 and 10 rebounds for his career. That's
That's pretty
NBA
cool.
and ABA combined.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That is-
Double-double. That's pretty cool.
No wonder he's on the list. What number was he? Or are they ranked?
No, they're not ranked.
They don't
It's
rank
just
this-
top
yeah.
75
That's probably
players.
the best because everything would draw. Every single pick you did would draw.
As a coach, he
an
won.
argument.
He had a 69.8% winning percentage.
Not bad.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Almost winning. You're winning 70% of your games.
But they had really good teams in Philly.
Did not
When
coach
he was
quite as
there.
many years as Larry Brown, right? Is he still coaching?
Yeah, that's what I was going to wonder.
Seriously. Is he
Yeah.
somewhere right now?
Oh, I don't think so. But
I wonder how old Mr.
Well,
Larry Brown is.
He was on those pretty early Dean Smith teams, right? 63 maybe, 64, 62, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I was thinking like he played with some of these guys that we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about, but
Well, wasn't he on Dean's first Final Four team? Larry Brown? I'm not sure. Lenny will know.
I may have. All right, let's take a timeout. We've come to the end of the first quarter here this morning. I want to talk a little bit when we come back about the LeBron James of baseball. Back in a moment.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry is not just a name, it's the way you're treated the minute you walk in. A full-service dental practice with over 20 years' experience and lifelong resident of Catawba and Lincoln County. His commitment and caring run deep in the community. Located at the intersection of Highway 150 and Business 16 in Denver, he's convenient to where you are. Open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5, so look no further for your dentist than Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry. Call 704-489-9919 for your appointment or more information. Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry.
This Saturday, June 24th, is Skag Day at Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. It's the day to save big money. Take up to 10% off Skag financing and take up to 15% off Skag cash sales. Plus, the Manatee food truck will be on hand for lunch. But that's not all. This week, everything in the big new greenhouse, half price. Patio furniture, outdoor decor, flags, bird feeders, bird baths, and even mailbox covers, half price. Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Online at beanbrothershardware.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Trusted, tried and true. Those 3 words represent the highest standards for Kawasaki Mule Side X sides. Trusted means being built strong and built to last. Tried means being put to test by hardworking people doing the toughest jobs. True means staying authentic to the roots that run 30 years deep. Kawasaki Mule, the definition of trusted, tried and true. See the Kawasaki Mule at Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk in Lowell.
For 22 years, Pro Motion Motor Company in Lincoln has been serving this area and has sold over 9,000 automobiles in that time. Part of the reason is they have financing options for all types of credit, including buy here, pay here, bad credit, or maybe you're a first-time buyer. Either way, you can drive away with your next automobile from Pro Motion Motor Company. They keep approximately 70 vehicles on the lot at all times. See Pro Motion Motor Company, 2527 East Main Street in Lincoln, also at 1016 16th Street Northeast in Hickory. You can even apply online at promotionmotors.com or give them a call at 704-735-0303.
Tim Johnson here from WLON. Folks, if you are looking to buy a new metal building, let me tell you the place to go. Unrivaled Metal Buildings in Lincoln, with over 20 years experience, they specialize in metal carports, garages, RV covers, storage sheds, and more. They service over 40 states. They offer bank financing and a credit-free rent-to-own program. All of their units are engineer certified to meet local wind and snow requirements. Commercial sizes are available as well. Address is 2541 East Main Street, Lincoln, or call 844-848-8676. Also check their website out at unrivalmetalbuildings.com.
Hi, folks. This is Will Poteet, president and co-owner of Remax Crossroads. The real estate market is ever-changing, but it's not too late to sell your home for a great price. If you're thinking about selling your home, give us a call at 704-736-1717 to speak with one of our expert agents. We would love the opportunity to earn your business.
This is Creighton Kell with Kell Insurance. We have been helping people for over 25 years with all their Medicare needs. We represent the same national and local companies as the insurance agencies you see on TV. And you know what? We can sit down with you one-on-one and help you find the right plan just for you.
Kell Insurance is located beside the Cultural Center and behind Gillum Realty in downtown Lincoln. 107 North Cedar Street. Call 704-732-4646 and follow them on Facebook. Kell Insurance.
And welcome back. Second quarter here. Get a message from Scott Childers this morning. Good morning. This is a name you hadn't heard in a while. Ala Abdelnaby,
Yeah.
along with Danny Green. So one Blue Devil, one Tar Heel. Had long careers and won several championships.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right. Danny Green.
I don't know. I can't remember much about the career of Abdelnaby.
Not a lot.
But now Green did help. I mean, he was a pretty big contributor in some of the titles that he was with San Antonio a while. Brad,
Yeah,
is
San
that right?
Antonio.
Is that-
And then,
Yeah.
was he with Toronto when they?
He was with them. I don't know if he was there when they won their.
I think
he had some big shots in big
Yeah.
games. I do remember
Yeah.
that. You know.
Yeah, he's won 3 titles.
Wow.
I guess one with San Antonio, one with Toronto, and one with the Lakers.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? No matter your role, the rings all look the same as
That's right.
as
So he's won as many as
the
Worthy.
MVP. Yep. A couple things from Lenny. He said won an NBA title as a coach, Billy Cunningham, which we mentioned a little earlier with the Sixers. He says neither LSU or Florida played in the SEC baseball tournament finals. They didn't even make the semifinals. It was. Want to guess who was in the finals of the SEC tournament?
Vanderbilt and no.
Mike's got one.
Yep.
Vandy.
Tennessee.
Alabama's a no. Tennessee's a no, which is another team that made the World Series
Yeah.
but did not make the
South Carolina.
no.
Arkansas.
No. It's the last one I would have thought of too, to be honest with you.
Kentucky.
Georgia.
Mm-mm.
Auburn.
Mm-mm.
Mississippi. Mississippi State.
Nope.
Texas
Oh, my
A&M.
God.
Yay!
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. Didn't know they had a baseball program. Oh man,
Well, I think they were pretty good when they were in the old Big 12 and Big 8. They had some pretty good runs.
A&M did
I think so.
in baseball.
But not in the SEC.
You know, obviously they're better known for their football than anything, but their basketball is not bad. You know, the basketball. Now I may have this wrong. I may have the wrong school here. Who's the most recent? A.C. Earl, did he go there, Brett? Maybe the wrong college. But the one that came to my mind was
A.C. Earl went to Iowa, I believe.
okay. I don't know
Wrong
about that. But the one that comes to my mind is Ham.
AC
Is it-
Earl played at Iowa.
Iowa. Mike got that one.
Got that
Did
one.
Darvin Ham, is that his name, or have I got Devin Ham?
Darvin Ham.
Is he not a coach now?
Lakers coach.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
coach now. Did he not go to A&M?
I thought it was Texas Tech.
Maybe so. I can't. If that's the case, I'm not going to be able to name you.
Texas Tech.
I cannot name you a basketball player
From A&M.
from A&M. I can't.
Can't either.
Not right off the top of my head. Give me a sample here, Lenny.
Well, Duke had one leave a couple years ago and go there. Henry Coleman.
Like I said, can't name. Can't name one. That's incredible. Good information on some of these guys in this. Brett, you said that was the greatest. What was that titled? That list, 75 players.
A 75th anniversary.
75th
team.
anniversary. Team.
So 75 seasons of the NBA
And they
and
picked-
set top 75 players
Gotcha.
of all time.
Use the 75. So I'm guessing in 25 years or whenever. That may have been a few years ago. I don't know. But whenever we get to 100. they'll pick
AC
100.
Law. That's who you were thinking
AC
about.
AC Law, that's
okay.
right.
Yeah, not a lot of ACs. So I can
DeAndre
see-
Jordan.
see how
I didn't
they
even
get
know he
those.
went there.
No.
Chris Middleton, Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah. Well, he's got a ring, doesn't he?
Yep.
Robert Williams is who Lenny says.
Yeah,
Robert
he plays for
played
Boston right
yep,
now.
Playing for the Celtics, went to Texas A&M.
Alex Caruso. He won a title with the Lakers a few years ago. He's with the Bulls now.
You know what? That brings up a question. Yeah, in Texas A&M, are they always going to be the little brother to Texas?
Yeah,
Well,
probably.
historically.
Do
that's
you look
been
at
the
them that
case.
way?
I do.
Do you look at them that way? Who else plays that role? I mean, the first one entered
Oklahoma State to Oklahoma.
first one entered my mind was Michigan State.
Yeah, that's true too.
You know, I don't know.
Carolina to Duke.
Carolina to Duke. Oh, you know what I was thinking? Honestly, I was thinking State to Carolina.
Yeah, that probably is.
More so because I think.
Well, I was kidding about the
Yeah, I know.
Carolina.
I know
to
you
Duke.
were. Clemson to South Carolina.
Duke and Carolina are only on the same level in one sport.
But we don't think about those. I think if you look at it nationally, you know.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know about the Texas A&M rivalry, especially in all sports.
Is UCLA little brother to Southern Cal?
No, I wouldn't think so.
UCLA probably has more national championships.
I think
Southern
they have
Cal
more than
is-
anybody
Yeah,
if you go with
I think they
all
are,
sports.
But I think Southern Cal, though, in football, you have to say Southern Cal.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
over UCLA, but you know, as far as they can't claim it because as far as a full athletic program, UCLA probably blows them away. You know,
You were talking about Texas A&M in baseball.
mm-hmm.
33 NCAA tournament appearances, College World Series 7 times. Last time, 2022.
Have they won it?
Nope,
I don't remember them winning it.
they have not won it.
That's made me wonder. Have they won it?
Nope.
And Mike says no, they have not. All right, Cincinnati Reds fans, pull up a chair, sit down, because we're going to talk about your superstar and the fact that these Reds are on a 12-game winning streak. Mike, how many years has it been since they won as many as 11 in a row? Now it's 12. But how many
Say,
years?
The dawn of the Paleozoic era.
It's been a while.
In a while.
1957.
Wow.
57 is the last time they won 11 and now 12 in a row.
Somewhere Steve K is smiling.
That's just hard to believe that, you know, because how good were they in the 70s?
That's right.
Didn't
And
really
they-
had a
the
strong
Big Red
team
Machine.
around 1990 or so.
Yeah. Never won 11 in a row.
Well, Pete Rose had to throw a couple of those games to make some money, so
Ooh.
that's why
I
they
didn't-
never.
you know,
that's why they never did it.
That never even crossed my mind. I hadn't thought about that. That's why the streak took so long.
Hey, how about this? This is I know we finished on college baseball, but this is going to be the fourth different SEC team to win the championship in the last 4 College World Series.
So they're on a run of 3 in a row right now, and that's who.
And LSU and Florida weren't any of them.
Wow.
2019 was Vanderbilt. They didn't have it in
Yeah.
2020. 21 was Mississippi State, and 22 was Ole Miss.
Yeah. The big dog, the SEC.
So which do they dominate more, baseball or football?
And
It's
then
close.
It
you
is.
go back
It is.
2 more years. Oregon State had one in there, and then Florida won it in 2017. So it'll be 5 out of 6.
The Carolina fans can remember the.
Ooh, Oregon State.
What-
Yeah. Well, that year they beat Arkansas.
Yeah, right. They did.
But further
Another
back, they beat
SEC.
Carolina back to back.
Back-to-back years.
06 and 07.
And have they even been real strong since that? Well, one time there.
I think they're still good.
Are they?
Is
I think
anybody
so.
other
I don't know
than-
if that coach is still there.
Has anybody other than Virginia won the College World Series from the ACC?
Wake Forest in 55.
55.
That's it. As far as I know, that is it. And it looked like this year both of those teams had really good chances. You know, I think with a break here and there, you could have been seeing those two playing each other. You know, but Florida's just a hard out. When they get in there, they're just a hard out. Wouldn't surprise me at all if they beat LSU.
Not at all.
But I think LSU, I don't know about the only difference is, you know, are we going to see Skeens? Is there a chance we see him if that goes 3 games?
Well, there's definitely a chance, even if it's in relief.
Yeah,
But
he could go
I
relief.
don't know if he's going to be able to start a game.
He just pitched on Thursday night, right? So Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
See him game 3 as Wilson.
3 days
Boyd
rest. He
suggests.
could pitch on Monday if it goes to a third
Yeah.
game. I mean,
I kind of doubt he starts.
Florida couldn't been sitting in a
game.
better position because Wake and LSU had to play that extra game,
Marathon
burn
game.
their best pitchers, and now Florida's sitting there fresh, ready to go with how many days rest? 3? 4?
Yeah.
3 maybe. I think when did they end theirs? On Wednesday night?
Wednesday, yeah.
So Thursday, Friday off, and two full days off, and then
And they've played the minimum 3 games.
and they didn't really. They were in a position they didn't have to throw their best guy in that victory because they had to lose twice.
That game Wednesday is the only game they played all week.
Wow, this thing is drug out now.
But that, I mean, could that be a bad thing
I
for
don't-
Florida? They only played once in the last week.
You know, some teams respond in different ways.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we'll see. I mean, who would you pick right now out of the two? If you got to pick one,
LSU.
would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, just take the momentum of it all.
Yeah. Yep. They just seem, I don't know, I may be wrong about this, but they seem to have had a little more pop in their bats, at least in this. Brett just said they were 2 and 3 in the nation, right?
In home runs,
In home
yeah.
runs. But it seems like LSU's hit bigger ones, you know, in the and I'm not saying they'll continue to do that, but they've hit some big home runs here down the stretch in critical situations. I can see that Wake Forest pitcher again so good in my mind how he looked after throwing one pitch in relief and seeing it go out about 350, 375 feet to right center, wasn't it, where that thing went out the other night? So
Do you think they'll ever go to wooden bats in college baseball?
I don't know. Why haven't they already?
I just think with
wonder.
the power of the kids playing college baseball, it just seems dangerous to me.
I hate to say it, but it may take a bad injury
Yeah.
before it ever happens. But I like the aluminum bats in the college game because we do get to see moments like we saw the other night. You know, they weren't sure that ball was going out of the park, and with a wooden bat, it would not have went out of the park.
Nope.
You know, in that game the other night. So, Wake Forest, I'm sure they would vote wooden bats right now.
Love them.
At least for a little while. But, you know, I would love to see what a college team spends in a season on bats versus what a major league team spends in a season on bats. Now, you have to cut the major league season in half because they don't. They play so many more games.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, what would it be? And how long? What's the average life of a wooden bat? You know, in the major leagues, how can somebody actually go a whole season with the same bat?
That's
it?
probably rare.
Yeah, I would say it is too. I would say it is too. But you know how it is. I mean, there's a lot, not just to the wood itself, but there's a lot to getting comfortable with that next bat.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, how long does it take you to get? I mean, I'm sure it's different with different players, but some people might take a month till they feel comfortable with the next bat, and then guess what? It chips and breaks, and you got to do the same thing all over again.
Is this true? It says previous matchup between LSU and Florida was in June of 2017.
I think that was
Would
the
they-
finals. That would have been the championship series. I'm pretty sure that was the NCAA finals. Florida beat them. I don't know how what format it was then.
They've had to have played a game
Surely
since
they have.
then.
Yeah, surely they have. I just think that means the last championship.
Last time they met.
Was that right, Lenny? They played each other in 17, because they did play each other before, and Florida won. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it was a one-game thing then or 2 out of 3 or. We'd have to see. Have to do some research on that. Let's see. Lenny says.
Yeah, this says first time they've met since March of last year.
Okay. They couldn't have went that
So
long.
it's got their all-time record. LSU leads the series 66-52. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot of games to have been in the same conference for.
Yeah, but I think they just play each other once a year. This is our year to go to LSU. Next year's our year
Yeah,
to go
well,
to
and this
Florida,
year they didn't even play.
Right. Well, that's because of the expansion of the conferences. So when was the last time that conference expanded? Who's the latest teams to be in the SEC? Most recent teams.
A&M and Missouri.
Has it been that
That's
long?
right.
That's been a while now. It may not seem like it, but that's been 10?
Maybe.
Yeah, since the days of Johnny Football, right? It's been a while.
Well, he played in the SEC, didn't he?
Yeah.
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 So, yeah, it was at least that
Barely.
far back.
Yeah.
It says they've met 6 times in College World Series play, and LSU's won 4 out of 6.
Real quick here, Oregon State. This is from Lenny. Let me start with the basketball one. I think Darvin Ham is the guy who shattered the backboard against Carolina in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, he is.
It was Darvin Ham.
That was in Charlotte, right? No.
I don't know where it was.
Don't tell me a statement and end it with a question mark.
I just remember A&M running Carolina out
was
of the
in
gym
Charlotte.
In Charlotte.
Right? I can't remember. I don't remember if that was in Charlotte or not. Oregon is still a strong program in baseball. Adley Rutschman was in the College World Series with them recently. I'm guessing that's the coach, Adley Rutschman. And he says he thinks I'm right, and I don't know which one of my statements that could have been.
And Texas Tech went 30-2 that year.
Butch said, back to the wooden bats, I used to make it a year with enough tape and tacks when I played baseball. So, yeah, tape that thing together, whatever it takes. Used to do that, especially when it chipped, splintered close to the handle. Just put tape over it and keep it going.
Yep.
Just keep right on going. That's the way it was. What's the price of a wooden bat today that's used in the major leagues versus the $300 or plus aluminum bat? I mean, now I'm guessing a lot of these college teams probably get some freebies.
Oh, yeah.
And who's the big bat company now? I mean, at one time it was Easton.
Yeah,
That
Easton.
had about everything out there. Is there somebody else? Have they jumped into the picture and taken over as far as the aluminum bats? I mean, it's probably my guess is it's Louisville Slugger still in the wooden bat business. I don't think anybody's jumped in and taken that away or even threatened to take that away. But is it still Easton when it comes to the metal bats that we see?
That's the name I've always thought of,
yeah.
but there may be others.
Yeah, it used to be, at least in softball, bomb bat. Remember that? You
Yeah,
ever heard
bomb
of that?
bat, of
Yeah.
course.
DeMarini was big for a while. DeMarini was a
Bomb
big,
bat.
yeah. Everybody
says
wanted
that-
a DeMarini bat
That
for a while.
basketball game was in Richmond where he shattered the backboard.
In Richmond.
Yeah.
But it was Felton, North Carolina, on the
Yeah.
Seismic.
Felt in the heart of Chapel Hill.
Yeah. Well, it was, yeah. So you say they won that game?
Yeah, Texas Tech won.
Okay. That was Texas Tech that he went to, Darvin Ham.
Yeah.
All right, last night, a fascinating baseball game was played last night.
It says DeMarini's the top brand right now in baseball bats.
Yeah, I could see that.
DeMarini.
300 plus a bat?
Probably.
4? Lanny says 400 plus a bat.
Marucci? M-A-R-U-C-C-I? Marucci?
Yeah. Mariucci?
Yeah.
Steve?
Louisville Slugger.
It's pronounced Marucci?
Well, that's the way I pronounce it, but I'm from West Lincoln.
It's probably got the H sound with double C. Has it got double C's?
Yeah.
That usually equals the H sound in there. Yeah.
So the Italians are
like
making the
like a hitman
baseball bats.
Di Marini and Marucci. Yep. Actually, I get something from Ned here. Mike gets it too. Says Marucci bats in baseball a lot. Oh my goodness, Rodney goes way back. Worth, remember the name Worth on baseballs and bats? A major bat manufacturer years ago. Well, it seemed like there was the Worth something out there for a long time, and I can't remember what it was called. The Worth. They may have made the bomb bat. I don't know who made the bomb bat, but yeah, I do remember the name Worth. I don't even know if are they still in business in the sporting goods
industry? Looks like they might have been bought out by Rawlings or merged with Rawlings.
Yeah, that happens a lot, I'd say. So what's the
But they are still. It looks like they are still around, but it's it looks like a
Power Cell. He says the Worth Power Cell. I remember that bat. Yeah, the Worth Power Cell. That's That goes back. That goes back to the '80s, don't it, Rodney? I would say. Ellie, got to talk about Ellie a little bit. I've been trying to get on this subject to Ellie here a little bit. This is not your Ellie Mae Clampett that we talked about before the show this morning. This is Ellie De La Cruz, in my opinion, as Brett would say, the Wembanyama of Major League Baseball, and that's probably a better comparison than mine to LeBron, but I just think he's drawing the attention in baseball. Now, don't get me wrong. When LeBron was in high school, he was covered. I don't think Ellie was covered around here playing his high school ball or his minor league ball. But since he has stepped into a Cincinnati Reds uniform, he's just been the guy that, to me, he's going to sell tickets in ballparks across the nation.
Yeah, I'd like to go see him.
I thought the series that started last night was in Atlanta until I started watching it last night and then realized they were still playing in Cincinnati. But
the only thing I didn't like was those all black uniforms.
I don't like them.
But I don't know if you watched any of the White Sox and Red Sox. I liked theirs.
The White Sox? They were in
all black. And it was gangster looking. And guess what the name
that fits
was?
The mold.
So what was the name on their jersey, on the front of their jersey? What do you think? What do you think they had?
Southsiders.
Black Sox.
He's got it.
Southsiders.
No, I think it's just Southside. But that's they're on the south side of Chicago. It's not always been the most pleasant.
Baddest part of town.
Exactly. And still living up to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought those looked pretty good. You need to look them up and just take a glance at them. The black and red, you couldn't really tell. It didn't differentiate enough on the Reds uniforms to see. If the red lettering had been outlined in white to give it, make it stand out more. But the White Sox was just black and white as far as I could tell.
Oh, yeah, I see it here. It just says Southside.
Yeah.
It's got white, either white or gray.
Show that to Mike.
Pinstripes.
Let him see what it looks like too. I thought they were pretty sharp.
I kind of like the pinstripes.
Yeah. That one. Maybe it was the pinstripes that helped. I mean, I think the Reds pants were just solid, if I'm not mistaken. And here's a picture I'm looking at of the Reds right now. You can't even tell what the front of the jersey says because it doesn't have enough color differential for it to stand out. But last night, I'm guessing this is the first because that's the first I've heard of it. Is this our first cycle of the Major League season? Somebody tell me that.
I don't think so.
Probably not, but I think it is Ellie De La Cruz's first cycle as a member of the Cincinnati Reds.
Youngest player to hit one since Cesar Cedeno.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. That's what it says. 1972.
You know where Cesar played? Most of his Houston.
Going
Astros
back to
center fielder,
Houston.
yeah. Astros center fielder for many years, as far as I remember, in that lineup. But De La Cruz, I mean, you guys have probably already read this, but how many years since the Reds, we talked about their long winning streak being since 57. How many years since a Cincinnati Red hit for the cycle?
89.
89 years?
No, wait a minute.
It was in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, somebody's looked it up. It's
89, June 2nd, 1989.
34 years.
Eric Davis.
34 years. And this guy, don't he wear 44?
44.
Yeah.
He does.
I heard
Luis Reyes has done it this year for the Marlins.
Did you guys see Joey Votto this week on Dan Patrick?
I heard a little bit of that.
Votto's an awesome interview. I mean, he's just one of my favorite. He needs to be on TV after he's done being on TV playing baseball. He needs to be in a studio or in somebody's booth or something because he's really good, really good at what he does, really good talking. He even had him mic'd one time during the game this year on ESPN, who's doing that, micing somebody, it seems like, every Sunday night. But
last night was the fourth cycle of the year.
Fourth of the year.
Yeah.
I'm sure we might have talked about them when they happened. If we did, I've forgotten about them. Do you know? Is it list who they were?
Phillies, JT Realmuto on June 12th.
We did not talk about his cycle.
Cedric Mullins of Baltimore. I think I remember mentioning that one. That was on May the 12th. And then I said the other one a couple minutes ago. Now I got to get back to it because this has every team's list.
Yep, Rodney here saying first Reds player since '89, Eric Davis.
Right.
Yep, that's a long time to go without, because the cycle we've figured out is much more common than the no hitter. Right, hitting for the cycle. Now it may not always lead in that.
Yeah, Luis Reyes
season,
from Miami. Season. He's the guy that's hitting close to 400 right now. He did it on April 11th.
Very early in the season. Didn't take long.
That's the only Marlin in their history to hit for the cycle.
But Joey Votto was on Dan Patrick this week, and Dan Patrick wanted to ask him about this rookie sensation a little bit, and they got to talking about him a little bit. And Votto said, "Never seen a player in my life with this kind of power." Strong words from a guy who's been around in the league a long time. And Dan just started saying some names, throwing names out there, and he says, "Not even close." He said, the guy's what, 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", plays shortstop. I'm not going to say like Ozzie, but Ozzie-like. You know what I mean? I mean, he can make those kind of plays. Maybe not quite as graceful as Ozzie makes it look yet. Anyway, but he can run like a deer when he gets on the bases.
Yeah, he can fly.
He can absolutely fly. He brings excitement back to the game.
I saw his triple last night.
Yeah.
And it was like most guys probably would have stopped at second, and he made it to third easily.
Votto said that he could start at first, and Cruz would outrun him to the plate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, Votto said, now, obviously I've lost a couple steps in my age. He said, but he could have probably done it in my early days too. But I mean, he's had high praise for this guy. And, I mean, that's that may not sound like much that start, giving him a 90 feet head start. But for a Major League Baseball player, that is a huge head start. But they also said if you started at the plate, and he got an inside the park home run, Votto said something about, I might be rounding second. Oh man, it was really good. I hope
you don't want to bat in front of him.
Yeah, no. I hope Denny and Steve K, two of the biggest Reds fans in our area that I know, got to see some of that game last night. Whenever he hit for the cycle, this game was an incredible baseball game for just there was a lot of I'll tell you what, by the end of the first inning, the Braves announcers were saying this kind of a statement game, because the Braves were pouring it on. It was 5-0 in that game. But just in a little bit, it was 5-2. A little bit later, it's 5-4. I think that may have came on one of his home runs. Votto last night hit 2 home runs himself. How old is Votto?
He's probably 35, 36.
Yep. And, he just got back, too, because he's been on the injured.
He's 39.
He's been on the injured list.
He's older than me.
39.
He'll be 40 in September.
Lenny says, okay, here's going to be our question of the day. Lenny says, I think JT Realmonte had a natural cycle this year. What does natural cycle mean as compared to cycle? Does that mean he hit them in order? Single, double, triple, home? That's the only thing I can think of. And Lenny will have to tell me.
Yeah, it'll have to be in order. I mean.
Or is it home run, triple, double, single?
Single.
If you're a Major League Baseball player, you've never hit for the cycle, and you hit triple, double, triple, home run, triple, double. Let me get those in order. It doesn't matter. You got those out of the way, and you hit one in the gap. Are you stopping at first? Does it depend on the score?
Yeah, it would have to. I mean, if the game's tied.
But you would consider stopping at first. Even though two doubles, a triple, and a homer would be better than the cycle, just to have your name on that list.
Yeah.
More impressive, but not talked about.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly. It's talked about for a day, and that's it. But hitting the cycle, you're in history. I know there's a lot of people hit for the cycle, but still, it's there's more people that haven't. Way more people that haven't hit for the cycle than do hit for the cycle.
He did. Let's see. In that game, Real Muto hit a home run in the second. He hit a single in the fifth. So it wasn't in any kind of order. He walked in the seventh.
Okay, that's cycle plus. Right there, drawing a walk.
Doubled in the ninth. Where was his triple?
So he got on base 5 different ways. If you look at it that way: home run, triple, double, single, walk. All you're missing is a hit by pitch.
He tripled in the third. So it was home run, triple, single, walk, double.
Now I wonder.
So I don't know. Was the home run inside the park? I mean, I don't know what.
No, it was not. No, Lenny said what I said. It's just the order. The natural cycle is the order. Single, double, triple, home run. So,
how many people have hit for a natural cycle?
I don't know, but that wouldn't matter to me at all.
No.
That would not matter to me at all. I don't have to hit them in order, although it would be great to cap it with the home run, But the triple's the hardest. Triple's the hardest, but it may not be for De La Cruz.
No.
I don't know if the triple's the hardest for him or not. I mean, we'll see how many home runs he hits.
He's still going to hit less triples than home runs in his career.
Yeah, he is. I would think so too. But
now who's the all-time Major League Baseball triples leader?
Lou Brock.
This says Trey Turner has hit for the cycle 3 times in his career.
Do you have the all-time triples pulled up?
I will.
I mean, it's got to be somebody with great wheels. Lou Brock comes to mind. I don't know why he's first. Ricky Henderson, maybe.
Yeah.
Somebody that's got the bat. It could even be Pete Rose, just because of the amount of hits he's got. And Pete was not slow.
By no means. Number 1 all time. Well,
in triples.
These are up from a long time ago. It looks like it was way more common 100 years ago, and
weren't the parks a lot bigger?
Probably so.
The parks were a lot bigger. The outfielders were not as athletic, as they are today.
So the ball rolled 400 feet.
Yeah.
Sam Crawford
Oh, yeah.
played from 1899 to 1917, hit 309 triples.
309.
Ty Cobb hit 297. Honus Wagner 252.
Sounds like records that'll never be broke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rodney said Ty Cobb. You said Ty was third?
Second.
Second?
Yeah. Honus Wagner third. Jake Beckley, Roger Connor.
How far do you have to go to get to a player in the modern day, like since 1960? If that's modern day. 60s, 70s.
Well, here, number 19 on the list is Stan Musial,
Yeah.
1941 to 1963.
And I bet those didn't come in 1963. Not many of them came in 63 because of the age of Stan the man.
Roberto Clemente, 55 to 72. He hit 166.
Yeah. I could see that. Good wheels on Roberto all those years. Stretching doubles into triples. Yep. Lou Brock, not even on my list. I mean, nowhere to be found on my list. Or Pete Rose, because of all the hits Pete had.
They might have hit a lot for their time, but they're just not on this ancient list. Yeah, Lou Brock, 141.
Yeah.
Willie Mays right behind him, 140.
Yeah. That's a lot of triples, really, in today's game. I still think, I mean, the strength of the outfielders' arms and stuff like that today, I mean, they can do so many things to strengthen their arm. You don't see as many triples. They get to the ball, and the guy has to hold up because it's back in there.
Willie Davis.
In a flash.
George Brett.
George Brett had triples?
So that's the most recent.
Willie Davis. Help me out. I'm trying to think of who Willie Davis was.
Willie Davis.
He played
for the Dodgers?
Yeah, he was a Dodger. And then looks like a couple other teams toward the end of his career. He played from 60 to 79. George Brett, Babe Ruth, number 71 on the list. Pete Rose, number 74. He hit 135.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking law of averages with him. As many hits as he had,
Brett Butler.
he had a chance. Yeah, Butler could move. He was fast.
Jose Reyes. That's the most recent one I've seen.
Jose Reyes
Played from 03 to 18.
with
Mostly the Mets.
Yeah. Okay. Just looking here a little bit last night at this box score. Like I said, the Braves jumped out in that game to a 5-0 lead. 2 in the second, 2 in the third, and 1 in the fourth tied the game for the Reds. Then the Braves took their lead back 7-5 before the Reds took the lead with 4 runs in the bottom half of the inning there to make it 9-7. Excuse me. Braves made a rally in the 8th with 3 runs, but just couldn't catch up. The Reds actually went scoreless the last 2 innings and won the game. Atlanta out-hit the Reds. Here's the funny thing. Atlanta out-hit the Reds last night 16-9. But the Reds won on the scoreboard 11-10.
So much for stats.
I was watching the Red Sox play a little bit last night. I don't know if Lenny was tuned in to any of this or not, and then we're going to take a timeout. But they had, if I'm not mistaken, they beat the White Sox last night 3-1. White Sox struck out 17 Red Sox batters, and Boston had 3 hits. One of them was a 2-run homer, though. It just shows you the times we're living in now. The 2-run homer wins the game. Everybody else just strikes out, but they win with that 2-run homer. That was Devers, who's honestly, I thought they might have overpaid him whenever they re-signed him this year to a new contract. I think he's leading major leagues in RBIs. So if he's leading the major leagues in RBIs, he's well worth the money. You got to pay it.
He's got 60.
60 RBIs already.
He's only hitting 239.
Yeah, well, that's typical.
Yeah.
For power hitters, 240 to me is about the benchmark these days. For a successful power hitter, you want them to hit 240 or better. Yeah. 300's way gone. It used to be the power hitters would hit 270
at least. Yeah. I think Harmon Killebrew had about a 275 career average. Something like that.
How in the world did you pull that one out of the
My vast.
That's pretty awesome right there, Harmon Killebrew. He might have just made that up, but he got me believing. He got me believing last night. I'm just going to look on here and just see if there was anything else about that game. And usually I don't get that excited about a regular season game, but this is a big time series right here. This could be a playoff series coming up. Because I think
playoffs.
I think the Reds are. I think the Reds are a playoff team. I'll put it that way, and we know the Braves are. I mean, that's without a question of the doubt. They're probably going to go through the season, and would you not expect them to be the 1 seed when it's all said and done in the National League? Brett, I know you're hoping it's your Dodgers.
What was it?
Do you not think that the Braves are going to be the 1 seed when we? I know it's early. We hadn't even got to the All-Star break yet, but if they don't have injury problems,
yeah.
I heard a thing last night. What's the guy's name for Atlanta last night? Belted a home run, and the only people to hit more home runs than him this year are Pete Alonso in the National League. Pete Alonso, and who else would be ahead of him?
Oh, it must be Matt Olson.
It is Matt Olson, and I did not realize he had become that kind of power hitter. But Pete Alonso and
Ohtani.
No, it's a National Leaguer. Or maybe it is
in
Ohtani.
all of baseball, Ohtani has 25, and then Alonso and Olson each have 23.
Okay, so it was Major League.
He's tied for the lead in the National League.
Wow.
Only behind Ohtani.
That's got to be the quietest 20-some home runs at this point in the season. I mean, it really does. That just kind of.
And it's about like Devers. He's hitting 233 with 98 strikeouts.
Speaking of stats, we're nearing the halfway point. Luis Arraez, 402 batting average.
402. Would you pull for him to do it? Would everybody in the world pull for him to do it other than I'm a Red Sox fan. I think I would pull for him.
Yeah.
Ted Williams was the last, right?
He was the last.
I'd like to see him do it.
But, as long as he's not a Yankee for me, I'm probably going to pull for the guy when it gets down the stretch.
Unless they wouldn't be playing the Dodgers the last week of the season. I mean
and in this era of Powerball or nothing, it'd be great to see somebody hit 400.
He's only got 2 homers.
Hey, that's because he's a contact hitter. Must have some good wheels too.
299 plate appearances. He struck out just 15 times.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's 109 hits.
A throwback.
That's getting close to Tony Gwynn, like in the strikeout category. The very few strikeouts in plate appearances.
16 walks to 15 strikeouts. And 16 walks isn't a lot.
No, it's not. No. You would think he would.
But 109 hits is a lot in 71 games.
Let's see. Lenny says Willie Davis played most of his career with the Dodgers.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there you go. A lot of baseball this morning. Let's take a time out. Appreciate you tuning in to Sports Talk. We'll be back here in just a couple minutes.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry is not just a name, it's the way you're treated the minute you walk in. A full-service dental practice with over 20 years experience and lifelong resident of Catawba and Lincoln County. His commitment and caring run deep in the community. Located at the intersection of Highway 150 and Business 16 in Denver, he's convenient to where you are. Open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5, so look no further for your dentist than Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry. Call 704-489-9919 for your appointment or more information. Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry.
This Saturday, June 24th, is Skag Day at Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. It's the day to save big money. Take up to 10% off Skag financing and take up to 15% off Skag cash sales. Plus, the Manatee food truck will be on hand for lunch. But that's not all. This week, everything in the big new greenhouse, half price. Patio furniture, outdoor decor, flags, bird feeders, bird baths, and even mailbox covers, half price. Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Online at beanbrothershardware.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Trusted, tried and true. Those three words represent the highest standards for Kawasaki Mule Side X sides. Trusted means being built strong and built to last. Tried means being put to test by hardworking people doing the toughest jobs. True means staying authentic to the roots that run 30 years deep. Kawasaki Mule, the definition of trusted, tried, and true. See the Kawasaki Mule at Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk in Lowell.
For 22 years, Pro Motion Motor Company in Lincoln has been serving this area and has sold over 9,000 automobiles in that time. Part of the reason is they have financing options for all types of credit, including buy here, pay here, bad credit, or maybe you're a first-time buyer. Either way, you can drive away with your next automobile from Pro Motion Motor Company. They keep approximately 70 vehicles on the lot at all times. See Pro Motion Motor Company, 2527 East Main Street in Lincoln, also at 1016 16th Street Northeast in Hickory. You can even apply online at promotionmotors.com or give them a call at 704-735-0303.
Tim Johnson here from WLON. Folks, if you are looking to buy a new metal building, let me tell you the place to go. Unrivaled Metal Buildings in Lincoln, with over 20 years experience, they specialize in metal carports, garages, RV covers, storage sheds, and more. They service over 40 states. They offer bank financing and a credit-free rent-to-own program. All of their units are engineer certified to meet local wind and snow requirements. Commercial sizes are available as well. Address is 2541 East Main Street, Lincoln, or call 844-848-8676. Also check their website out at unrivalledmetalbuildings.com.
Hi, folks. This is Will Poteet, president and co-owner of RE/MAX Crossroads. The real estate market is ever-changing, but it's not too late to sell your home for a great price. If you're thinking about selling your home, give us a call at 704-736-1717 to speak with one of our expert agents. We would love the opportunity to earn your business.
This is Creighton Kell with Kell Insurance. We have been helping people for over 25 years with all their Medicare needs. We represent the same national and local companies as the insurance agencies you see on TV. And you know what? We can sit down with you one-on-one and help you find the right plan just for you.
Kell Insurance is located beside the Cultural Center and behind Gillum Realty in downtown Lincoln. 107 North Cedar Street. Call 704-732-4646 and follow them on Facebook. Kell Insurance.
Welcome back. Not Gary Glitter, although I like to refer to that as a sound like Gary Glitter. Were we talking music this morning? What were we talking about this morning before we went on? Wasn't there something music related?
I heard Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Molly Hatchet.
Yeah, Molly Hatchet.
Did they get in? Is that what it was?
I don't know.
Oh.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Dan Patrick and their discussion this week on Southern Rock. And
Allman Brothers were the first, right?
Pretty much the founders, yeah. Leonard Skinner was not far behind, though. Not too far behind.
Yeah, they took it to the next extreme. Right?
Yeah, and you know what? As popular as the Allman Brothers are, I think Leonard Skinner, and they may be a little more popular just because they had the plane crash.
Yeah.
I hate that, but
that's right.
that may be why more of the popularity seems to swing their direction because
Well,
of
don't you think
a
they
tragedy.
had bigger hits?
I think they did.
Even though-
they
Yeah.
did.
I think the Allman Brothers were a better quality
Oh,
of
yeah.
music,
I can probably name you 20.
but Leonard Skinner, and
Skinner
especially
songs
Sweet Home Alabama and
without
Freebird, those were just bigger than.
Yeah.
But Allman Brothers, I'd probably stop at about 5. You know, I mean,
I know a lot of Allman
Hate to
Brothers
say
songs, but I don't think they were.
yeah,
They just weren't as popular as Leonard Skinner's hits.
yep.
True.
Well, I mean,
We
I
also
wasn't
mentioned-
even around then to know, but
We mentioned Marshall Tucker, and they, you know,
Yeah.
I don't think they got near the credit maybe that they deserve. But
Toy Caldwell out of Spartanburg.
how about that? Saw them one time in the airport, not in concert, but in the airport. The Marshall Tucker
What were
band.
some of the other Southern bands from the 70s, that big renaissance?
well,
of
38 Special.
38
was-
Special.
That wasn't
pretty
70s,
big.
though. They came along later. That's just basically a spin-off
Skinner
of Leonard
spin-off,
Skinner.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. And there was another one, too, that Rossington something.
Royston Collins Band.
Yeah.
That was a spin-off
Yeah.
of
That was
Leonard
a member
Skinner.
of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Royston Collins Band.
Let's see. Lenny says that current 12-game win streak that Cincinnati has, you said, goes back to 57. I heard them say last night that current manager David Bell, which I wouldn't have been able to tell you that, his grandpa Gus Bell played on that 57 team. How
Nice
about that?
tie-in.
That is. That's yeah. How rare is that? So he was a member of the team. Did I say grandfather? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah, grandfather was
Where were the Doobie Brothers from? Were they Southern?
Texas. Aren't they
Okay,
from Texas,
Texas.
Mike? The Doobies.
Not sure about that one.
So I'm thinking more like southeastern bands when y'all are talking.
Yeah, well, that's
So
what
I don't
that's
really-
what you think of is I
Like
mean,
ZZ Top is Southern, but they're not in that same
right.
group.
But
as,
they were mentioned. I mean, they were mentioned in the conversation. I mean,
Texas.
you know,
Yeah.
Tom Petty is true Southern rock, but it's not Southern
from
rock.
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah,
I think Petty and Leonard Skinner are close to the same place.
yeah.
Tallahassee, that area, weren't
Yeah,
they?
I think so.
Tom Petty's from Gainesville, isn't he?
Seems like he might be.
And Leonard Skinner, Jacksonville.
Jeff Taylor
I think
says eat a
Jacksonville's
peach.
Were they formed?
Yeah, I think Jacksonville's what they list.
Yeah, I don't know where the
But it
Van
seems
Zant
like- yeah.
family is
Seems like
from.
it was. What was your comment
No,
there, Mike?
Jeff Taylor says Eat a Peach was the Allman Brothers' top album.
yeah,
I
that
agree
was a
with
big
that.
one.
Yep. As there again, I'm not the. I couldn't have told you the name of one of their albums because I don't know the albums that well.
And there was one live at the Fillmore. Yeah, they were iconic.
I've heard of both of those, but I couldn't have sat here and
Well, what individual
why I
Allman
don't
Brothers
know
had
albums.
the most pop hits or rock hits himself as
Dwayne.
a soloist?
am I wrong? You didn't answer me.
Gary, I don't.
I said Dwayne,
Greg, I would think.
Greg, that's who I meant.
Greg Allman.
Yeah,
Dickie Betts.
Yeah, Dickie Betts.
He seems like the foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which one was it? Was married to Cher for
Greg.
Greg?
Yeah,
and he just died a couple years ago, didn't he?
that's right.
And Dwayne died pretty young.
Oh, yeah. One of the Allmans died like in his early 20s in a motorcycle accident. I can't remember
Lenny
which
says
one.
Gary Rossington and Alan Collins were former band members of Skinner
Right.
when they started that.
Yeah, Dwayne Allman died in the motorcycle.
Okay,
He's
Dwayne.
24.
24. Yeah.
And that was Cher's, right? Is that what you said? Or no?
No,
Well,
I think he said Greg.
I
Greg,
think it was
okay.
Greg to whom
Okay.
she was married.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Dwayne was the lead guitarist
Yeah.
at that time.
Right.
I think the Allman Brothers just kind of invented that multi-guitar, dueling guitar sound, where they play off each other.
Yeah, Greg Allman was married to Cher, 75 to 78. That was his third of 7.
Wow.
Third of 7.
Oh.
Man,
Ooh. 7.
he did not learn a lesson.
Stacy Fountain. What is that? Is that a familiar name? That was
Stacey
that was one of his wives. I don't know.
That's the only name.
Any other famous?
Is that the only
anybody
name
else?
you think of that seems recognizable? Is that I guess you're looking at all the names.
Yeah, Danielle Galliano, Julie Bendis, Janice Blair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep. Lenny says Greg was married to Cher. And then Butch says Molly Hatchet. Butch throws in Molly Hatchet with exclamation points. I have a hard time naming more than one Molly Hatchet song. Flirting with Disaster. That's as far as I can go. I like them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't like them.
It's hard to have even one hit, though. And so that's something.
It is. Where were they from? Where was the great Molly Hatchet from?
Bessemer City.
Lenny says, didn't Greg and Cher have a son? Well, I don't know.
Oh.
I do not know the answer to that.
Of course, the one I remember with Cher was the one
Sonny.
she had with Sonny, Chastity Bono.
Yeah.
Molly Hatchet. Now, I don't know about each member, but this says Jacksonville, Florida is their
Well, there you go. Jacksonville is the hotbed
origin.
for Southern music.
Southern music.
Whether you want to
Do you
call it Southern rock or
know?
not,
Do you
because
know who the biggest name was in Molly Hatchet? Like who the lead singer or?
nobody's performed in Lincoln before at the
Let's see.
That's right.
at different events, different things.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Elkins?
I,
No, it just says 2019 to present. That's current members.
That's a Rick
That's-
Mitchum question. Rick
Let's
is big
see.
Molly Hatchet. Lenny's got a good band right here who I did see in concert.
Steve K, Atlanta Rhythm Section.
ARS.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I love them, but I don't consider that the Southern rock thing because you don't have the
Atlanta
the
Rhythm
lead-
Section?
yeah,
That seems like soft rock.
That's
or
to me.
Don't-
That's orchestral
Well,
rock, art rock.
That's what I was going to say. There's the lead guitar is not taken.
No,
You know, in
it's got to
Southern
be
rock,
the lead guitar.
the lead guitar is just dominating.
Oh, Jeff Taylor, Elijah Blue Almond is Cher and Greg's son.
Elijah
Elijah
Blue.
Blue.
Elijah Blue Almond.
Yeah,
Aren't there
thank you,
Blue
Jeff.
Almonds? Isn't that a brand name?
Blue
Yeah,
Diamond.
Blue Almond.
Diamond.
Blue Diamond Almond.
That's what they should have went with. Blue Diamond.
This is good here, Lenny. I saw Blackfoot in concert.
Blackfoot.
Open
Yeah.
for Foreigner way back in the day.
That's
And-
Southern, isn't it?
Blackfoot. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Southern. They're they don't get a lot of notoriety or anything, but they were really
How about
good.
Black Oak, Arkansas?
Well, that was brought up too. I heard that. Is that Jackie Blue, or is that Ozark Mountain Daredevils?
That's those are Daredevils.
Okay, so you're gonna have to tell me a song by Black Oak, Arkansas.
I can't think of one.
Well, then I can't list them.
No, I just remember them, but being a relatively southern band, but
Yeah.
can't think of a song.
Somebody give me a Black Oak, Arkansas
yeah, please.
song while we're sitting here going through the scores. Fred's beat the Braves 11-10.
Jim Dandy.
You got to be kidding.
Jim Dandy, The Rescue.
That is not Southern rock.
No.
That's like that song's like poking fun at music.
That's their
That's their
that's
claim
their
to
most
fame.
popular
it
song
really?
on Spotify. Jim Dandy.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, that kind
Forget them. Take them off the list.
The Rays continue their winning ways. They beat the Royals 11-3. Twins over the Tigers 4-1. Pirates 3-1 over the Marlins. Phillies 5-1 over the Mets. Mariners over the Orioles last night. Boy, this one in Baltimore, a thumping 13-1 last night. The Mariners pulled a 500, 37-37 on the season. Rangers continue to win. They improved to 47-28, 4-2 over the Yankees last night in the Bronx. The A's beat the Jays. How about the A's at 20 wins now? They went on a little winning streak. I mean, they won like 5 in a row.
One thing I saw last night, I love their green jerseys. The A's.
Yeah.
It's like the best looking green.
Yep. The Kelly. About
Yeah.
like what you got on right now.
I hope they keep that when they go to Vegas. I hope they're still the Athletics and they wear the same
Surely they will be.
colors.
I mean, surely they will be. They went in Toronto last night. Langlier's hits game-winning home run in the ninth as A's beat Blue Jays 5-4 to end 8-game skid. So after they won those 5 in a row, here they have been on an 8-game.
skid.
Yeah, that's typical. The Brewers defeated the Guardians 7-1. Red Sox over the White Sox 3-1. Rockies 7, Angels 4. Padres beat the Nats 13-3. Dodgers over the Astros in Los Angeles 3-2. And the Giants, Mike's Giants, one of the hottest teams in baseball, 8-5 over the D-backs.
Hey, baby, 9 out of the last 10. One caveat, though. Mike Yastrzemski went out.
Ooh.
Now he's on injured reserve with a strained hammy.
He makes me pull for the Giants. You know that, don't you?
Yastrzemski
Because of his
name,
last name.
Of course.
He makes me pull for the Giants. And
God, that's going to hurt.
yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Because he's been hot in this run of theirs.
Yep. I think he's a perennial all-star. Don't you? I mean, he's
No.
No? Okay. I'll take your word for it. We'll see. Tampa Bay leads the
Spoken
East.
by
Well, I mean,
Dodger.
has he made one yet?
Spoken by a Dodger fan.
What's he doing this year? What's his? I have no idea.
Well, here I'm trying to find.
I just
him
see
here.
a lot of highlights of him. It may be for
Because he's named Yastrzemski.
for nothing. It may be.
He's hitting 259,
Yeah.
10 home runs, 27 RBIs.
Just pedestrian numbers.
Pedestrian
Yeah.
numbers.
Yep. Yep, that is
Yeah,
correct.
that's what I think
Take
he
your
is.
word for
He's an average player. He's an
Yeah.
everyday player.
Right.
Yeah,
But-
he's an everyday player.
He's not going to hurt you, basically, is what you're saying.
He's had
Yeah.
7 hits in his last 5 games, but now he's injured.
Yep.
And I wonder,
And he's only – oh, no, he's 32. I thought he was younger.
Grandpa was a great defensive player.
He was.
I wonder about his defense. I can't
He's
ever.
pretty good.
Is he? Okay. But Carl
Well, he plays
was really good. In the
– he's playing
outfield.
center field right now, and that's a tough stadium to play the outfield.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got to be pretty good. But, yeah, he's a career
Probably about a 250.
244,
244.
83 home runs.
Yeah.
Mm.
Not an all-star, but
The standings,
And
real
he's
quick.
32 years old. So
Tampa leads the American League East 53-26, followed by Baltimore, who's 5.5 back. Yankees 10.5 back. Toronto 11 back, and Boston 12 back. Worst record in the division is 40-37. That's a tough division. 3 games over 500 is Boston, and they are in dead last place. Minnesota leads the Central 39-38. They lead the Guardians by 2. The Tigers by 5.5. White Sox by 7, and Royals by 17.5. White Sox, to me, are one of the biggest disappointments. I thought they had a better roster than that and would be in contention. Not to say they won't be.
a couple of years ago they were saying they had one of the best young rosters in baseball.
yeah, no pitching.
Is that what it is? And let one of their best get away, right?
They've
The
allowed
guy from NC State?
Yeah, Rodon. They've allowed the 3rd most runs in the American League.
Yeah.
Wow.
Minus 64 in runs scored versus runs allowed.
Only Oakland and Kansas City have allowed more runs.
That is not good company to
No.
be in.
No.
Not good company to be in.
And they have a
Oakland.
pretty good batting lineup, but they just don't have the pitching.
And last night they lose 3-1. I mean,
Yeah.
that's baseball. The Texas Rangers lead the West. I think they're there, maybe there to stay. Don't ever count out Houston. And,
No,
and
you
the
can't.
Angels are having a really good year too. But the Rangers have got some distance there at 47-28. Lead the Astros by 6.5, Angels by 7, Mariners by 9.5, and the Mariners are 500
I
and
know.
9.5 out.
That's not a bad division.
Nope.
No, they're a pretty
Then
good
the
team.
A's. The A's is where you pad your stats.
And we
and
want the
schedule.
Angels.
You really
to
think they'll stay
fall.
the A's in Vegas? It didn't seem right. Well,
What's Oakland got to do with the letter A or athletics? There's
Oh,
athletics everywhere.
Well, the Raiders stayed the same. I
stayed the
hope
same.
I hope the A's stay.
I do too. I
Yeah.
do too. I mean, who knows? They might be wearing black and
It's
silver.
like nobody has
yeah.
nobody else has the green and yellow.
Yeah. Iconic color combination.
Yeah.
Let's see. Best record in the National League belongs to the Atlanta Braves, 48, or at least most wins, 48 wins, 27 losses. They lead Miami by 6. And who is this no-name Miami team that just
I don't
keeps
know
hanging
anybody
around?
on it except
You know?
for the Major League batting leader.
They just keep hanging around.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they keep winning games and winning games.
Well, they do have
They've gave up more runs than they've scored.
I know.
But
last year's Cy Young winner, Sandy Alcantara. But he's only 2-6 with a 5.08 ERA this year.
I would have been here till the end of time to tell you who last year's
He's-
Cy Young Award winner was.
He's having an awful season,
Wonder who won it in the American
and they're
League.
still good.
If it's that low key in the National League. Wonder who won it in America.
I don't know.
Miami 6 games out. Philadelphia's 9 out. I still think Philadelphia might have a run in them here or there.
Yeah.
Talented roster. The Mets are 14 out. Biggest disappointment in baseball?
$350 million
Yeah.
roster bust.
I mean, 7 games below 500.
Yeah.
And you said they got the largest payroll?
Well, it was over $350 million, wasn't it?
Probably. I mean, they added in the last 2 years. They've added Scherzer and Verlander.
Mm-hmm. The Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers.
They added Francisco Lindor a year or 2 ago.
Is that the shortstop? Is that
Yeah,
his name?
yeah.
The Nationals bring up the rear, however, 20 games back. The Reds, maybe the surprise in the major leagues this year, the start they've got off to, 41-35. Really been consistent home and away, winning record, both. But the 12-game winning streak has caught everybody's attention.
Yeah.
And now everybody wants to watch Ellie, including myself. I love watching him play.
Yeah,
Plays hard. He's not just very talented, but he plays hard. And that, he plays hard all the time, and that's something that
He reminds me a lot of Puig when he first came into the league. Now, he's a different kind of body.
he don't seem to get pissed off at everybody
6'5" and lanky. Puig was
or piss everybody off.
stocky.
Quig had a way with that.
Whatever happened to Quig?
Well, the Dodgers let him go. He actually went to Cincinnati for a little while, and then I don't know if it was the hamstring injuries or he had some kind of domestic charge.
Oh, yeah.
That guy was built more like a linebacker
Yeah,
than a baseball
he was.
player.
He was.
I mean, he was.
But he could run.
He could run. Very athletic. Let's see. Where did I leave off? The Reds leading the division, 41-35, followed by Milwaukee, game and a half out. Cubs 4 out. Pirates 5.5, and this is after losing 70 of their last 71. Somehow,
1-9.
Somehow they're still just 5.5 games out. They won last night to end a long streak. I don't even know what the streak was at, 8 or 10.
What was that start they got off to? They were like 16-6 or something early.
Yeah, that faded quick. But it's a division right now that still belongs to any of the teams, even the Cardinals.
The
in
Cardinals
last place,
are right there
9.5.
with the Mets as most disappointing.
Yeah. I still think the Mets, for what all they brought in, are still more disappointing than the Cardinals. Because I expected to see the Cardinals in the race. I expected to see the Mets at the top.
Yep.
With the Braves, competing with the Braves for the, it's just not happening.
I just don't see the Cardinals making one of their signature runs.
Quick, who's the manager of the Cardinals? Same here. All right, who's the manager of the Mets?
Buck Showalter?
That's what I'm thinking, but I may be wrong. That's exactly what was in my mind. Is that who it is? I don't remember if I saw him last in the studio on TV or if he was in a Mets uniform.
I thought it was, but yeah, Buck Showalter.
Well, at least we got that one.
Well, the Cardinals is that Marmol. Is something Marmol? I only know because we've been over this a couple different times.
Yeah, why did they fire the guy that had the connections to Charlotte? I cannot figure that out.
I can't either.
Why did they let him go? I mean, did they think he was underachieving? Well, what's this guy doing?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of odd what's going on in St. Louis right now. Proud organization.
What teams do,
by the
guess.
way. Yep.
It's Oliver Marmol.
Oliver Marmol. That's what Lenny says right here. Oliver. Actually, he put Olivier with his French spelling.
Olivier. Lawrence
Marmol.
Olivier.
So we're going to go with Oliver for the time being, right? The Diamondbacks lead the National League West. So is this a surprise team of the year on top? Is this the good surprise of the year in Major League Baseball? Them and the Reds?
Yeah,
yeah.
And Baltimore.
Baltimore, Baltimore is, but I could see it coming. I mean, they built a nice roster and kept getting better. The Reds and the D-backs, especially the Reds, came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and it hasn't.
Well, they even came out of nowhere just a few weeks ago. I mean, they weren't good up until
and
a
if you
couple
take
weeks
away
ago.
the 12-game winning streak, they're just mediocre. But they've got the 12 game.
Yeah, they
winning
went
streak.
they went
12
from
game
6
winning streak
games
counts.
under to 6 games
Yeah,
over.
in a hurry, almost overnight, almost in a week.
Yeah.
12 games, 2 weeks. Arizona leading at 46-31, followed by the Giants just 2.5 out, the Dodgers 3 out, the Padres, another disappointing team, I think, 8.5, and the Rockies are 16.5 games out of first. It's good for baseball right now where we stand because there's a lot of teams. We're halfway. Let's see, 79. We're almost halfway. Some teams might have played more than that.
Yep,
And
we're close.
We still got a lot of races, a lot of good, tight races to get in the playoffs. So hopefully that will.
Here's one
hold
thing
true
I
to form.
still like for San Diego. Only Tampa has allowed fewer runs than San Diego has.
Yeah,
this
and
year.
what's the guy that they got from Tampa?
Blake Snell? He's been awesome last couple starts.
Right, he is. He's starting to come back to his form.
I think
on the
23
hill.
strikeouts in his last 2 games.
That's pretty good. Lenny says, I saw Blackfoot at Wingate College along with the Atlanta Rhythm section.
Oh,
And his
Wingate.
next sentence says, imagine that at a Baptist university.
yeah, you wouldn't think.
I think I remember him playing at Vanderbilt. Okay, let's see. College World Series several years ago. Yastrzemski. Did Yastrzemski go to Vanderbilt? I did not recall that, but that doesn't mean a thing for me not to remember that. Verlander won the Cy Young in the American League last year, so it is a household name in the American League. If people like Verlander and Scherzer, Kershaw, people like that are in the running for it, do they get a little favoritism? Because it's voted on, right? It's not just by numbers. It is actually
it's
voted
a
on by
vote.
sports writers. It would be hard. I would be hard pressed not to lean toward one of those guys. And I don't know who finished second to Verlander. It may have been somebody we've heard of. It may have been somebody we haven't last year. But it just, I'm not going to say I wouldn't do the same thing if I was a voter. If one of those names is on there and I got to pick one between him and Mike Powell and Brett Keever, I'll probably go with the Verlander because of the popularity of the name and what I'm saying is careers figure in. you know? And it should be season by season. But careers have to figure in.
Well, I wonder who Sandy Alcantara beat and how how much better his numbers were, because whoever finished second had to be more of a household name than that one.
I guess, yeah. So that was National League. Who would you think? Well, the Braves would have had somebody as good a season as they had. Would have had somebody in the running, I would think. But I don't know. Are you trying to find that?
Yeah,
the
2022 voting.
Yep.
Sandy out. Yeah, it was Max Fried of the Braves.
How about that?
Julio Urias of the Dodgers finished third. Alcantara had 30 first place votes. That's it. That's how many
That's
votes.
all of them?
That's how many votes.
Yeah, well, there you go. Then he was pretty much.
So in the point
unanimous.
system, he had 210 and Fried had 72. So that one wasn't even close. Verlander had all 30 first place votes. So both were unanimous.
Wow.
Dylan Cease of the White Sox finished second in the American League.
If you would have told me that name, I'm not sure I could have told you. Could you?
I only
guys?
know because he's on my fantasy baseball
Okay.
team.
Okay. Well, and you know what? That helps. I mean, having a fantasy baseball team helps you know the players. It's amazing that we don't know them because the coverage today in all the sports is better than ever. It's not like you can't,
Exactly.
But I think Mike, I used to learn them better whenever I looked at the box scores in the newspaper.
Yeah, you don't get the box scores anymore.
I mean, you can, but it's online.
Yeah, it's online.
Alcantara went 14-9 with a 2.28 ERA last year.
14-9.
Yeah.
Got him to Cy Young.
And I don't know.
Now, the
I don't know
ERA
how
was
many
great.
Strikeouts, but I don't think he's a big strikeout.
Well, we know
pitcher.
records. I mean, nobody pitches more than 5 innings. So
in 2022, he pitched 228 innings, 207 strikeouts.
Not bad. Not bad. Not a bad ratio. Last night in American Legion baseball, Cherryville ended their losing streak, Mike. They had about a 6-7 game losing streak. They beat Hickory last night at home by a score of 6-1. Cleveland County took on Chatham County in the Randolph County tournament, played in Asheboro. Cleveland County won last night 7-1 in that game. Postponements last night were Gastonia at Matthews, scheduled for the 25th, which is tomorrow, right?
Days 24, yeah.
And Burke and, Caldwell County and Lincoln County was just scratched. It was just canceled because it's a non-division game.
At this point, you're just trying to get into the division games.
Yep. Although you say that, but Post 100 will be going to Hickory. Well, that is a division game.
That is a division.
What am I thinking? That is a division game. Post 100 will be going to Hickory tonight for a rematch of last night's game, back-to-back, home and home, 24 hours apart. Right. So Lincoln County's at the Gaston Braves. Did you know Lincoln County beat the Gaston Braves in 5 innings the first matchup?
Very impressive.
Yeah. They got a pretty good hitting team whenever they put it all together.
And that guy where's he out of? South Lake Christian. He's had some good games pitching, right?
Yep. I can't recall the name right off the top of my head.
Sanua, something.
Yeah. Samurai.
That's it.
Burke County's at Asheville tonight. Queen City is at Mint Hill. Rutherford at Caldwell. In that Randolph County tournament in Asheboro, Cleveland County plays Randolph today at 2, and Cleveland County will play a game in the following slot at 4:30 against St. Mary's of Maryland. If you're wondering about Sunday, Caldwell is at Burke. Cherryville plays at Asheville at 6 o'clock. It does not say doubleheader. It just says playing at Asheville at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Cleveland County's at Rowan County tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. Gastonia at Matthews at 2:30. Gastonia Queen City at 7. The Gaston Braves play Queen City at 4:30. So Queen City's got 2 home games tomorrow against different
teams. That's unusual.
It is still against Gaston County, however.
All right.
I about jumped to Monday though. Gastonia at Matthews, Gastonia at Queen City. The Gaston Braves at Queen City. Hickory at Rutherford, and Matthews at Lincoln County rounds out your Sunday.
No Sunday games schedule. For Post 100 then.
No Sunday games. They weren't listed for tomorrow, were they? We're not listed for tomorrow. One final timeout. Back to wrap things up here in just a moment.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry is not just a name, it's the way you're treated the minute you walk in. A full-service dental practice with over 20 years experience and lifelong resident of Catawba and Lincoln County. His commitment and caring run deep in the community. Located at the intersection of Highway 150 and Business 16 in Denver, he's convenient to where you are. Open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5, so look no further for your dentist than Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry. Call 704-489-9919 for your appointment or more information. Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry.
This Saturday, June 24th, is Skag Day at Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. It's the day to save big money. Take up to 10% off Skag financing and take up to 15% off Skag cash sales. Plus, the Manatee food truck will be on hand for lunch. But that's not all. This week, everything in the big new greenhouse, half price. Patio furniture, outdoor decor, flags, bird feeders, bird baths, and even mailbox covers, half price. Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln, and online at beanbrothershardware.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Trusted, tried and true. Those 3 words represent the highest standards for Kawasaki Mule Side X sides. Trusted means being built strong and built to last. Tried means being put to test by hardworking people doing the toughest jobs. True means staying authentic to the roots that run 30 years deep. Kawasaki Mule, the definition of trusted, tried and true. See the Kawasaki Mule at Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk in Lowell.
For 22 years, Pro Motion Motor Company in Lincoln has been serving this area and has sold over 9,000 automobiles in that time. Part of the reason is they have financing options. for all types of credit, including buy here, pay here, bad credit, or maybe you're a first-time buyer. Either way, you can drive away with your next automobile from ProMotion Motor Company. They keep approximately 70 vehicles on the lot at all times. See ProMotion Motor Company, 2527 East Main Street in Lincoln, also at 1016 16th Street Northeast in Hickory. You can even apply online at ProMotionMotors.com or give them a call at 704-735-0303.
Tim Johnson here from WLON. Folks, if you are looking to buy a new metal building, let me tell you the place to go. Unrivaled Metal Buildings in Lincoln. With over 20 years experience, they specialize in metal carports, garages, RV covers, storage sheds, and more. They service over 40 states. They offer bank financing and a credit-free rent-to-own program. All of their units are engineer certified to meet local wind and snow requirements. Commercial sizes are available as well. Address is 2541 East Main Street, Lincoln, or call 844-848-8676. Also, check their website out at unrivalledmetalbuildings.com.
Hi, folks. This is Will Poteet, president and co-owner of RE/MAX Crossroads. The real estate market is ever-changing, but it's not too late to sell your home for a great price. If you're thinking about selling your home, give us a call at 704-736-1717 to speak with one of our expert agents. We would love the opportunity to earn your business.
This is Creighton Kell with Kell Insurance. We have been helping people for over 25 years with all their Medicare needs. We represent the same national and local companies as the insurance agencies you see on TV. And you know what? We can sit down with you one-on-one and help you find the right plan just for you.
Kell Insurance is located beside the Cultural Center and behind Gillum Realty in downtown Lincoln. 107 North Cedar Street. Call 704-732-4646 and follow them on Facebook. Kell Insurance.
And welcome back. Lenny says last year Sandy Alcantara was unhittable on a Marlins team that scored very few runs for his cause. This season is different. They are scoring runs, and he's getting shelled.
Yeah,
that's weird, isn't it?
That's baseball for you.
Yep. Lenny also says, I think Cherville plays at Asheville tomorrow. It's a makeup game.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I said that earlier. I did say that, Mike, because I said it don't say doubleheader.
That's right. You did say that.
But it, I can't imagine right now that every Legion team's not playing every night,
day.
You know, at least for a while.
We're getting into the last week of the regular season.
Yep.
Hey, before we leave, I want to get Brett's surprises, winners, and losers from the draft, NBA draft.
Yes.
I don't know if I can give them to you.
I know the fashion loser winner
is Win Benyama.
I know who the fashion loser was.
Who?
Brady Dick of Kansas.
What was he wearing?
Red sequin coat.
Okay, here's the only thing that counts, and you're going to have to answer this question for me. Did he get drafted?
Yep.
Then the clothing's fine.
He went pretty high.
Then the clothing's fine.
If
you wear something like that and you don't get picked, where'd he go?
Where did he go? Brady.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know enough names in the draft to really even pay.
Is there a better name in sports to put on the back of your jersey?
Nope.
Think about it.
I'll tell you what I noticed. 4 of the top 5 picks did not play college basketball.
Yeah.
Right? Is that right?
Yeah.
I think.
Well, one thing I thought was cool was the twin brothers went back to back, 4th and 5th pick.
That was cool.
The Thompson twins.
The Thompson, and they weren't even part of a band, right? Toronto is where Lenny says that Grady Dick.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Toronto. He went 13th.
He did not get picked in the United States.
No.
But
sharpshooter out of Kansas.
Okay.
I knew the top 5 players. And then after that, it kind of dropped off to just knowing a couple here and there.
Yeah.
So Chris Paul is going to Golden State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
trade
that's been much bigger news
It
than,
has.
than the draft.
with his cane. I guess he's going to get there with a walking cane.
Trying to figure out what his role will be. I guess distribution.
Well, they're talking about maybe he plays 25 minutes a game.
Yeah.
And
It's like playing with the second team.
Second team.
yeah, helps the
Playing with
younger
guys,
players
yeah.
develop. I don't know.
I think Chris Paul's the type that can fit in with about anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't care if he shoots.
He's mellowed in his old age,
Mm-hmm.
in his years, that's for sure. Not old age, but
And one thing
old
he's had
basketball
trouble
age.
with is staying healthy for the whole season. So maybe this will help.
Yeah.
Being on
Yeah.
a team where he doesn't have a major role.
That's right.
And did Draymond re-sign?
Not yet.
But they think he's going to now, right?
I think the fact that they traded Jordan Poole
Yeah,
away,
that tells you everything. Yeah.
get knocked out and
that means
traded.
Yeah,
he got
Draymond's
he got sucker punched, then he got traded.
I just hope that they.
probably coming back.
Where did he go to?
Washington.
So they need. I can't wait to see them play each other and maybe they'll
Yeah.
guard each other.
Yeah, how
And
about
Tyus Jones also traded to
that's right. To
Washington.
Washington.
But Washington is a landfill.
Oh yeah, they got
They're
rid of
discarding
Bradley Beal,
everything.
Kristaps
It's a
Porzingis.
They're
Their top
tanking.
two players are gone.
Completely tanking.
And what did Boston gave up? Smart,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's all
Well,
to get Porzingis. Now you watch it a whole lot more than I do. Is that a good move?
a pick or two,
Yeah,
but it's not going to be a. I mean,
a glamour.
they're not relying on draft
Not a
picks
glamour pick.
to help them win titles. I mean,
no.
But is Porzingis
A good
on your
fit
team
for Boston.
better than Smart? Is what I'm asking you, Brad.
I always thought
it's
Smart
hard.
was
That's
the,
hard to
Smart
say.
plays hard.
I mean,
He plays
Porzingis is a
hard.
better talent, but yeah, well,
Dan Patrick said all Smart does is stand out there and miss threes.
is he a winner? He doesn't have the winning mentality that
Yeah.
Marcus Smart does. I mean, I think Marcus Smart really helps teams win.
Right. Just the fact that he plays hard all the time and he's available
But
about all the time too.
yeah,
Hornets.
I don't know. They're both really good players.
Hornets bring in a player who has baggage, and he already got a player with baggage in Miles Bridges.
Rodney says yes, but Poole left with a 4-year, $120 million contract. Not bad.
Yeah,
That's just a typical NBA contract.
Charlotte's pick.
People you've never heard of make $120 million.
Yeah.
I thought Charlotte. It was 50-50 whether they took Brandon Miller or Scoot Henderson, because there was not, a unanimous guy that should have went second, like Wembanyama should have went
Right,
first.
right.
So, just knowing Charlotte's luck, they probably took the wrong guy. But
Yeah.
I hope not.
Well, I saw some video from the Hornets draft party, and everybody was sort of shook their head. They wanted Scoot Henderson.
Yeah, most Charlotte fans, I think, did want Scoot Henderson.
Yeah.
Real quick here, we got to go, but I want to read a couple comments. Lenny said that Poole frees up $140 million to spend on Draymond in that exit. Smart is an underrated defensive player. He isn't.
Yeah.
I don't even think he's underrated. I think he's a good defensive player, and people know it.
Yeah.
But Boston's problem in the East Finals was not defense, by no means. I know they're going to miss him in that, but they couldn't score enough points.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
they're
Porzingis can
Took-
score.
Took Tatum out of the lineup, and who's going to get you points?
Porzingis can score in different ways.
That's right.
He'll help.
They're
He'll help
missing
with that.
something, and this is an attempt to get.
They are trying,
whatever.
and Brad Stevens trying to follow Danny Ainge, right, and make some bold moves. For Brett, Mike, I'm David. Appreciate you tuning in to Sports Talk this morning. We'll see you next week.